And I'm back. Here is a segment of the show that I like to consider uh, giving some artist exposure to somebody actually from a part of the world that I used to be from, the wonderful city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. We have a local talent from there, RCO. We're going to put the spotlight on him. And how are you doing, Mr. RCO?
Chilling. How you doing?
Wonderful. I came about across you, and I guess we have a connection with a Alex Spicy. Spicy was a longtime friend of mine. And how did you connect with the freestyle artist Spicy, also from Dance Party USA, by the way?
Well, it was about I say about a couple of years ago. I was at a couple events, and one of them was here in Philadelphia. And I met Spicy, and we talked for a while, and he let me know who he was, and then I knew his group and everything, and from there we just hit it off, and we just became good friends and started doing some music.
Yeah, and I understand that you did the event at the Family Tavern there in North Philadelphia.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say Family Tavern. I'm very familiar with that place. I actually, a friend of mine used to be a bartender over there.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I had my Philly days. I know about all those places, OK Corral and City Limits, all that type of stuff. 200 Club, yes. Philadelphia is definitely a freestyle spot. So, Philly being a freestyle town, but how did you get your love affair with freestyle started? And I understand that you had a little crush on a certain little Susie.
Oh, yeah. It's like when I was at least about, I'd say 13, and had a DJ next door always playing all kinds of freestyle music and hooking it up. And he said, hey, check this girl. She's your age. I'm like, for real? Man, what's her name? He said, oh, her name's Little Susie. He started playing the music. I'm like, oh, damn, that's what's up. So I'm like, wow, I fell in love with that girl. I was a young boy, you know what I mean? Listening to the freestyle. And I was always in his basement all the time, listening to music. And he was introducing me to all kinds of music. Then he knew the old group that Spicy was in with the Grupo Nuevo and the Freestyle Classic Club Star. So I was like, wow, he introduced me to this guy, Mike. So, hey, what's going on? And then from there, I just kept on, with the music. And like, man, one day I'm going to do some music and see how I do. And then from there, just kept on going with it.
Well, in preparing for your interview, I touched upon a little something that I found a little interesting, being that I have a background in Philadelphia too, and I know how tough it is over there. I understand that you experienced some bullying coming up in North Philadelphia.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was just hard growing up, you know what I mean? Especially like in your own neighborhood and then in school, and it was tough. It was just tough, trying to grow up and just be careful and just watch myself. But, ever since I started getting late in high school, I started hanging with, different crowds. So then that helped me a little bit, and I started getting a little bit more tougher into it. And then, nobody bothered me after that, until I was getting into all kinds of, different things.
Well, I know how hard it is, especially in Philadelphia. I mean, I've been there Halloween time where they're throwing eggs and everything else like that.
Right. I'm telling you, man.
I know it's up. I'm second in Lehigh here, but
Right. Oh yeah.
So, you also had a stint in DJing. Tell me a little bit about that. How you've been a DJ as well.
Well, I used to DJ a little bit, for our family and friends, and then around 2010, that's when I got into it more, because then I got with my next door neighbor. He was playing online. Back in the day, they had this thing called Stick Cam, so I started DJing with them. Then they had a network called the Freestyle Magic Network. So I started DJing online for them for a while. And then when I used to go in different events, actually when I used to get a chance to go to these events, I used to get lucky and interview some artists and take pictures, do different things. I got lucky to interview Bernardo from Florida, Magicus, Joey T and his squad, and a lot of different people, and Pika and everything. And I haven't seen Pika for a long time too, ever since I was a young boy. It's been a while since I've seen Pika too, so it was great to see him at one of the events also.
Now, I understand that you had some help from the Brazilian freestyle scene, and I know Brazil is really big on freestyle now. How did you get that connection with the Brazilian scene?
Well, with the Brazilian scene, I met a guy named Pedro Saint, and Pedro Saint was real cool. He was always on our network, talking, and from there we just hit it off. And he told me about a station that they were running with another guy named Tony Vanille. That they have a real radio station in Brazil, and they had an online radio station, nothing but freestyle. And their level of freestyle is just beyond recognition. They should get a lot of credit because they do a lot of different mixes and stuff. And from there, I used to start playing, and they hooked me up with some kind of number in an online type test, and then I just started playing music with them. So that was back and forth between my network and then their network in Brazil for a little while, and it was cool because I met different people and different things, and it was just real nice treasure to be on the online and DJ. It was great.
Well, I know that you have a little connection with Freestyle Universe, that you were at an event where you opened up for Cynthia, that our wonderful, delicious Deliza was at.
Oh, yes, yes. I look at him recognizing, but I recognize it for the back. That I was nervous as hell. I'm going to be honest with you. When I got that gig, with Alex Spicy and his crew, they said, hey, we're going to do this event, Cynthia's going to be there. What you think about it? I'm like, what? Think about it. I said, I'll do it now. You know what I mean? I never been on stage before. I said, I'll do it because, I wanted to get recognized. You know what I mean? I wanted to, I was like, this might be my big break. So from there, I did it, and then I went to the Palladium. I don't know if you know the Palladium. It used to be the Puente Blanco back in the day, down Allegheny. You know how it is down there. You know what I mean? So, it was my birthday. It was September 1st. It was my birthday. And actually, I was in a VIP booth chilling, and I had my sister with me. So she was supported me, and she was taking pictures. Oh, Cynthia comes up, and I was like a little nervous. I'm like, oh, damn, it's Cynthia, oh, snap. And then we hit it all. We talked for a little bit, back and forth. But when I got on stage, I'm going to be honest with you, I was like a little bit dry in the mouth because I was nervous. Cause, it was the first time being on stage. I was singing both tracks, Tell Me Girls, one of the Latin freestyle tracks, and then Bon Bon de Menta, my reggaeton, like an English-Spanish track that Alex Spicy was with me doing both tracks. So it was a treat, First time on stage, but I hit it off. I made it happen, and it was great. I felt good doing it, and it was great support. It was awesome.
Well, I'm glad to put the spotlight on you for your wonderful track that we're getting ready to play, Tell Me Girl. I want the people to know, what are your future plans in music with freestyle, and how can they follow you?
Well, future plans, I'm hoping, to try to, sell my music, because I haven't done that lately since, I've been just falling out for a bit, and I've been trying to work on so many things. I get so many ideas that I've been doing music, and it's half and half, so it's not only freestyle that I do other kinds of other crazy music back and forth with the reggaeton, a lot of different other styles of dance, and I like to get involved in different styles of music, in English, Spanish, and if I could learn a different foreign language, I try to mess around with it and try to throw that in too. I like to be versatile. That's the kind of artist I am. I like to be versatile through different music. But they also can check me out on ReverbNation.com /Ronaldo Payugan Ortiz for some of my music. They can check me on YouTube at Payugan One. Or they could check me out on Facebook and join my Facebook page called Save Latin Freestyle. And that page, I created it for, the lovers of music, lovers of freestyle, and for anyone to join, and any producer, any artist, any fans, any promoter, anybody just to get on that page, and keep it clean, keep it simple, and have much respect on it, because it's a style of music that we have to save. That's what a lot of people don't understand. That Latin freestyle, growing up from disco into the dance scene, that you have to save this style of music. If you don't save this style of music, it's going to be in the history books, and then nobody's going to care about it. So we got to keep it moving, keep it forward, keep the music alive, and let the new cats know about this style of music and keep it going. You know what I mean?
Well, I like your upbeat attitude. I am going to represent you because you are a brother from North Philly just like me. So I am going to share with the world your wonderful track. Here is RCO with Tell Me Girl. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you, Swins.